All right, Matt. So you're Matt Palmer. We're here in Foster City,
California.
So it's near San Francisco.
Just a couple minutes outside the city, yeah.
Yeah, and you're representing a company called Replit.
That's right.
Before that, it was called Rep. So you've been working. What's your position at Replit?
So I run developer relations at Replit, and so it's all about kind of helping people get started, helping people learn about the platform and how they can kind of take their ideas and turn them into working applications.
Okay, and what does Replit do, exactly?
Yeah, for sure. We're the fastest way to go from an idea that you have in your head to something that's live on the internet. And we do that through code. Replit itself is a platform that just makes it really simple, really easy to write code. And then on top of that, we've built out some AI functionality that can write the code for you, right? And so just to be really clear, Replit lives entirely in your browser. So if you've heard about some other AI tools for writing code, maybe you have to install a code editor or have to install some other software. With Replit, you just go to replit.com. You can create an environment, and then you can use our AI tools, so Replit Agent or Replit Assistant, to configure that environment for you. You don't actually have to do the configuration. It can write the code. It can help you along, and with natural language, you can go from that idea to a working application.
Like prompting.
Exactly.
So it's just like kind of really plug and play. You open your browser and you code, and you have it's like VS Code but in the browser.
You can think about it like that, yeah. And so installing a language is just one line. You can just write Python. We'll install Python for you. Or you go to Replit Agent, you say, hey, help me build an app that manages my to-dos. And we'll not only create a front end, we'll create a back end, we'll create a database for you within that browser, and you don't have to worry about installing anything.
And what the target that you're, the core developers, the product managers, what's your target for this product?
Yeah, I think what we've seen with AI as it keeps getting better is that the barrier to entry for building these applications, it's coming down. And so in the past we were targeting more software developers or technical folks, but today it's like, hey, if you're a product manager or
you have an idea,
you have an idea.
Just open your browser,
exactly,
and now you just do something.
Or a business user, or really anyone that's kind of scrappy and hungry and wants to learn, you can go and figure this stuff out, and you can build applications. So I think currently, right, it's people that have an idea that want to build something cool, and I wouldn't limit that to just software developers.
Yeah, and so we're in 2025. And it's just like, I don't know what you feel, but it's just like crazy into this industry right now. I'm talking about agents, of course. So we've been talking about agents for ages, for years and years. And every year it was, next year is going to be the agent year. So this year seems to be the one, right? And so we have also coding assistant, as you said, like Replit, we got Bolt, Lovable, all kind of cursor, windsurf, whatever. Maybe every 2 other weeks there is a new one, a new player in town. So what are you excited about in 2025?
What am I excited about? Yeah, so year of the agent, right? 2025, that's what everybody's talking about.
I think we are. This is it.
I agree. Look, I was at a meetup yesterday. That's what people were saying, year of the agent. It's that's the buzz right now. But, as Replit Agent is our biggest product, and that's what we're investing in. And I think the thing I'm most excited about is kind of what I just explained, where we're seeing that technical barrier fall. And I think with the next sort of iteration of frontier models, or even OpenAI just recently is talking about their own sort of agentic frameworks or operator that can go take actions on your behalf. I think we're going to continue to see a lot of functionality that unlocks exactly what I'm talking about, which is lowering the barrier to entry for people to get started. We're working on a lot of really exciting functionality, I think, that's going to take things to the next level, really enable someone who maybe they've never written code before, maybe they just want to learn. They can go in and start building something and seeing results immediately. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
And it's a very, very big competition right now.
Absolutely, it's crazy.
That's crazy. Everyone is running everywhere.
Yeah.
This huge amount of fundraising, lots of GPUs, lots of. We talk about it. Lots of also fake it till you make it. Lots of false announce, etc., etc. So, how do you? What's the future of software developer? It's a very big question.
Yeah.
I saw Sam Altman yesterday saying that he was taking conditional, very, very mindful about what he said, but he was saying like maybe we might change our society system and all that kind of stuff, because he was like implying that maybe people were going to run out of jobs and be replaced and kind of. What do you think like could happen in 2025 about that? It's a very big challenge. Like, because I'm gonna explain a bit. What I want to say is that some of our clients, they have tech teams, and most of the tech teams aren't yet equipped with coding assistants and stuff like that. Because in France we have that. We have kind of, it's very you have black and white. You have software engineers who are really keen on working with AI, and other who are just like, it's not for me. Whether it's because of anxiety, fear, whether it's because lack of knowledge about the product, about how to prompt correctly, etc. How do you see that in the US? The penetration of these kind of tools, coding assistants and coding with AI.
So I'll speak about it on a couple fronts. So first, I think just the fact that we're here talking about building with AI means that we're in a very small part of the world where that's a consideration.
A bubble.
Yeah, most people, they know what ChatGPT is. They don't really even know what Claude is, right, or what Anthrop, right? They just have that brand recognition. That's a majority. But like when you narrow it down to software developers, there's maybe an even smaller portion that are like actively building with AI. Now, I think Google has some statistics about the percentage of their code that was written by AI.
25?
I want to say 20% off the top of my head. Amazon saved $200 million or something converting a code base using AI. So like, it's happening at these big, and these are big tech companies. Now, personally, I know that, I live in the Bay Area, right? This is a small subsection of developers, and maybe the most tech forward or one of the biggest like innovators or folks that are willing to take risks. Everybody, I think most people here have started experimenting with AI tools in their development workflow. I can speak from personal experience and just say, right, like, AI has allowed me to do things when I'm building with that tool that weren't possible a couple months ago. I've been able to create applications that I couldn't write a few months ago, and I've been able to learn concepts that frankly would have taken a long time, right? Because I remember learning how to code 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like, oh man, I want to build this hello world example. I have to go read this book, or I have to go to this thing, and if I spend an entire afternoon, I'll be able to figure out how to get this thing running.
You scan the tutorial very rapidly, and then you kind of compile the stuff, or you kind of try and it fades, and you go back to the tutorial and you say, I should have read it more deeply, more carefully, and just now it's like everything is changing.
Yeah, exactly. I can ask a model.
Welcome to the US.
There you go. We're right across from the fire department. I'll let this guy pass, and then I can pick it up from there.
I think that's Meta data center. They're burning.
Oh yeah. No, that's a community center. I know. So yeah, what I was gonna say is now I can go directly to a model and learn about a concept. Hey, tell me all about Next.js. Tell me all about Express. Tell me how this thing works. It'll explain to me how it works. I can generate the scaffolding for an application. I can kind of fill in the blanks or tweak things as I see fit. And I can have something that works in a framework that I've never written in before in a couple hours, right? Or in an hour or two. And
it's from having experimented that sometimes it's like just magic.
Exactly.
It's just like crazy.
It's crazy.
It's going to also disrupt the edtech and training and the way people learn and teach and all that stuff. It's already happening. What would be your advice to a software engineer and young software engineer? And I have my opinion on that, which is like, you're an engineer, that's a tool, that's lots of tools, and you're supposed to be curious.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're supposed to kind of do things with these kind of tools and be curious and try to engineer and find solutions to problems with these kind of tools.
Exactly.
So I would say like keep this kind of children and kid eyes in front of these tools and just play around with them.
Yeah. Look, and it's what you said earlier, which you said maybe there are people that are timid to get started, or they feel intimidated, or they're unsure if this is the next big thing, or if they want to try it. find an hour on a Sunday, and just say, hey, I'm going to start this project, and I'm going to see how far I can get. And I think if you do that, if you're out there and you're like wondering if you should start, you'll see immediately, wow, like I should learn this thing. And I think, to your point, it's another technological advancement. It's another tool, in the same way that like Replit, right, is another tool that allows you to do something. This is just another advancement in the tools that we use. You know, back in the day,
the cloud, we had the
exactly
internet,
right. Like back in the day,
TCP/IP, all that kind of new
yeah.
stuff. You know,
Back in the
Web
day,
1, Web 2, Web 3.
yeah. And so this is another thing that you can leverage to get more stuff done, right? And so if you're not using it, there will be other people that do use it, and that's just kind of the fact of the matter. And it's worth spending some time to figure out if it's the right tool for you. And I think for most people, specifically on the education side, this is going to speed up how everybody does things. And it's like, you know, maybe...
Yeah, I saw that. I saw something. I just interrupted. I saw that a study with a young...
I think I saw the same
You
thing.
saw it, like the girl. It was like she did like 2 weeks, which was maybe like 2 years of learning.
Exactly.
It's the same.
Yeah, and so...
it shrinks space-time.
Yeah, now you have to, I think it advances outcomes, but you have to think about the problem differently, right? Because if you approach the problem of like, oh, I want to build this working app, and in the past I've started from scratch with like a Hello World example, that's not how AI works, right? So the parallel I like to draw is it's like, okay, if you're trying to like figure out how a clock works, maybe in the past you had to assemble the clock like piece by piece. Now AI just gives you like a working clock, and then you take it apart and you figure out how it already works. So it's kind of like flipping the way that you learn. I also used to learn the same way where, okay, I want to read this tutorial. I want to understand everything line by line.
From scratch.
Exactly.
0, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now it's like, no, actually just go generate something that works, but then like dig into the console,
And
dig into the logs.
Reverse engineer.
Exactly.
This kind of
exactly.
stuff.
So I think it flips the way.
Yeah, a pivot in psychologically, how do you tackle the problem?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but you know, in the same way that I don't really need to know calculus to like use tools today that leverage calculus, you don't need to know how to write some kinds of code that AI can write. That's a big mindset shift.
That's very interesting, because a lot of software engineers are just like saying, if you don't understand the code, you're not worth writing it. And I'm much more of a kind of person of, if it works, it works. You know,
well, if it works, it works. Now the caveat there is you have to go and
of
you.
Course.
But what I'm saying
like
is
MVP and prototypes
for sure.
and stuff like that.
And if it works, you can figure out how it works, because like in my brain, like, oh hey, if I get something that works, well then I can kind of manipulate the inputs to see exactly how. Like that's my preferred way of learning. And so yes, I want to clear that up. There will always be a need for professional software engineers. I think. Yeah. Like you know, people like to hot take. Oh. There will be no engineers, or that's. I don't think that's true, right? So
I built. Look at how I built next CRM in 25 minutes.
Yeah,
this is like crazy. No, you need time. You need expertise.
Yeah,
you will still need like human expertise.
Yeah,
but our job and software engineer job is going to change.
For sure.
And we are going to need to adapt.
Yeah, I think things change. People adapt. What I will say on because this ties into Replit's kind of philosophy is like. I think like personal software, you rebuilt your own CRM in 25 minutes. Maybe it works for you. Maybe that's all you need, right? And maybe that's perfect. Now, if you want to build something that works for 1 million people, you probably need to hire some engineers and build out some more advanced systems, right?
Yeah.
But currently, as it stands, I build solutions for myself. We have users that build really amazing technical solutions that they then implement for themselves. So I think, there are no real absolutes. It doesn't make for really great sound bites, but we're seeing kind of like across the spectrum really big advancements in productivity and like what's possible for people.
I wish you all the best for Replit for 2025.
Amazing.
Thank you very much, Matt, for all this and welcoming me and inviting me in Foster City, your headquarters. It was really nice talking with you.
Amazing. Yeah, it was great speaking with you as well.
Thank you.